Hello, friends, and welcome to this week's edition of Talk to Me. You've been listening to a performance at the Atlanta Jazz Festival by our guest, Alexey Marti, a famed, renowned, up-and-coming percussionist. Alexey, thanks for joining us, man. How was that concert?
Oh, man, thank you for having me. The concert was great. It was phenomenal. And the people enjoyed. So our mission was complete.
That was your first Atlanta Jazz Festival, right? Which is very popular across the South. What did it mean to you and your performers along with you?
Well, it's great to have the opportunity to perform in that festival because there's a lot of good artists who perform at the same time, and to be able to expose the people in Atlanta to the Afro-Cuban music, Latin music it's really good. You know, it's good experience.
Is that how you describe your artistry? Afro-Cuban? Explain that to us. What is it you do that may be different from other artists?
Well, I always say Afro-Cuban jazz, Afro-Cuban Latin jazz, because in the United States, everybody uses the word Latin jazz, like in general. But in Cuba, we say Afro-Cuban jazz. That was the word before, back in the day. But well, it's Latin jazz. I play world music. So I play music from Brazil, from New Orleans, from Spain, from Africa, and the whole continent, Haiti, you know. So I try to be very wide when I play my music.
Alexey, when you were there, the city council president of Atlanta was almost there to greet you. She met with you she spoke before you performed on stage. She also helped provide you lodging when you had to leave New Orleans early. I'm sure you were appreciative of that.
Yes, I have to say thank you to the whole personnel involved, the city of Atlanta involved in my appearance in the festival, and the kindness they showed me for me be able to stay in Atlanta more days until I left. So it was beautiful art. I'm never gonna forget that. Anytime they call me, I will do my best to do my job in the way it's beautiful.
Well, I gotta say this because I cover politics and cover Council President Felicia Moore is also running for mayor. So that may have been a political thing she did for you too, because she wants votes from the jazz artists.
Yeah, I understand that, but in this case, I don't think everything in that position. I believe in humans being. We have to think always first as a human when people do a beautiful, you know, something like that, action towards you. So, you know, I always gonna say thank you. I appreciate what you did for me. If in the future she wants to run for mayor, I hope that she win. You know, that's all I can say.
Alexey, you were talking about the Latina Cuban music. I may have mispronounced that, but you also have a new release called "I Like the Way." With featuring Mark Kibble on Take 6. Let's listen to a little of that.
I like it when you do that to me, baby. I like it when you do it to me, baby. Oh, baby. I like it when you do that to me, baby. Oh, yeah. I like it when you do it to me, baby. Check it out. Sometimes in our life there is a love that cannot be forgotten. My desires for you are stirring up inside my head and heart, and I miss you, and at times I'm completely polarized by this emotion of my desire of wanting to be with you. So I will sit with this for a moment, this emotional turmoil. Gonna reflect on what we did and what we said. Every day is a new day with a new way for my desires to stir up all over again.
Now, that's a little different from what you have been playing from your usual jazz kind of music, is it not?
Yes, it's kind of more. I decided in this new project that I've been working on it. Uh, it's a tribute to the people that I grew up listening to.
Okay.
You know, I have a song like we did another song before with Mike Kimball. There was a beautiful collaboration that we did with the New Orleans Philharmonic, and we recording on Esplanade Studio. And yes, I grew up listening music artists like, you know, Quincy Jones, Barry White, Edwin Afai, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Prince. The list going on and on. You know, it's a lot of people that grew up listening to it, and a lot of jazz too. So I want in this album, Harry Belafonte, one of my favorite artists, Harry Belafonte. So what I did was in this track, I took I combined different genres from different countries. Like guitar sound more like a Cuban, Jamaica. The vocal is like R&B, and the groove is Haitian, African. So we have the whole gamma, the whole in one particular song. So it is still folklore music. Even people now think it is Afrobeat, whatever they want to call, but it's still, period, a folklore African music.
So is this latest release uplifting your brand or expanding your brand?
I expand my brand, you know, because most of the time when the people see a Cuban percussion player, they assume that you're only gonna play Cuban music. But I know in my case, I'll be able to navigate different waters. You know, I can do Latin jazz, I can do Cuban music, I can do Brazilian music, I can do African music, so I flamenco music. So that's what I've been doing for a little bit.
What were you doing to start with your percussion days? You were in Cuba, a percussionist in Cuba. How long have you been here in the United States?
I've been in the United States for 13 years. I'm 14 years. Yeah, I started playing percussion when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
In my grandparents' house with religious purpose, because in my family they're practicing the Santeria. It's Yoruba religion, so that's the way I grew up, listening a lot of drums and a lot of rituals, people singing, playing. So that's how I grew up.
How did you get here? How did you get to the United States? How did you get to New Orleans? Was that traumatic or easy?
No. I'm now we're gonna. I try to avoid that type of question because everybody thinks it's gonna be political. Because more the image that you have from the Cuban people coming to the United States is through the ocean. And it's very, very, I have to say, the people who make it, it's wow, my soul is with them, because it's something very, very, nobody can explain. I can't explain that because I wasn't able, I never experienced that type of experience. But most of the time, people think everybody who lives Cuba is in those circumstances.
Right.
And I took aeroplane. Like everybody, paid the ticket, I left. It's simple like that, you know. Yeah, it's simple.
Well, now again, was that unusual, or you like
No, the political is this part. The part they're gonna tell you that I try to avoid, because more the people who want to come to the United States from anywhere, it's about visa.
Yeah.
If you don't got visa, you cannot come to anywhere. Right. So all the time people think, oh, the Cuban people always live like that, but nobody talk about Dominican people who go into Puerto Rico. It's more dead in that area than from Cuba to Florida. Nobody want to talk about that.
Well, we're glad we did.
Yeah, because Cuba is the more. Cuba is one of the more political island country in the world. And, it's a regime, a dictatorship, and was a revolution that a lot of people grew up with,
Including you, right?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in the communist country. But when I say this, I'm talking about around the world.
Right.
People have different image about Cuba.
Tell me, you had a funny story about how you learned English. Please share that with us.
Well, it's kind of hilarious. Well, when I moved to 2008 to United States, I used to be watching. They had the cable. They had this program, The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, and he asked a couple of friends, man, every time I turn the radio, the TV up at this time, I don't know why this guy. What are he talking about? They explained me there was a comedian program. It's two in the row, him and Stephen Colbert.
Right.
So what I did was I started putting calculation to see what did he say. So I started reading. I don't know English, but I started picking words. I started reading down words. I tried to figure out what does it mean. What is this? So little by little, I started understand what he said. Even I cannot speak, but I understood what he said. I was watching that for 3 or 4 years. Later on, I had the opportunity to go to school, but I still watching that. So I started getting into United States society. That show was very interesting, very, very important to me to see it.
Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert, two political comedians.
Yes. By the way, in that moment, I never understood Stephen Colbert comedy because very, very sarcastic. My English is impossible for somebody to just move to understand the level of the English they spoke. He's very nationalist in the way I say, in the way it's only for people who live in the United States. If you don't live in the United States, you see Stephen Colbert and that back in the day, you're like, what are you talking about? But Jon Stewart was more universal.
Seems like where you're living now is something of a universal music. So many great artists, particularly jazz artists, have come from New Orleans. Is that influencing the work you're doing now, living in New Orleans?
Yes. I'm glad. I'm happy to be able to live here because I learned a lot about the root of the United States. Jazz was created here.
Yeah.
And you see how much important thing happened down here. I learned to play second line, I understand the syncopation, the second line, and the relationship between Cuba music and New Orleans music is incredible. And when you hear my music, particularly in the instrumental music, you can feel the bridge. I always am walking between two water. So it's a ship that has both sides. And I enjoy it. I enjoy it because I had it like Leah Che told me one day, Alexey, you had the opportunity to bring us together. So do it. So I've been doing that for a little while.
Well, I got to admit, I like the second line too. When I got married in New Orleans, we had a second line after our wedding. And next week we'll be in New Orleans for a funeral that my wife just put together a second line. So that's about all I know about New Orleans is second lines.
Yeah. Well, everybody when coming to New Orleans, then think about only second line and gambo. That's
yeah. Finally, though, all jokes aside, that's one thing. But how is New Orleans doing now? Is it coming back, or is it still dire times there because of hurricane?
Yeah. It's most. I think in the whole city, I think have power now. That's a good thing. We have to say thank you to everybody involved in this people in the government and the city. They've been doing an amazing job. When we got something like this, I'll be able to, like 2 weeks later, everybody got most everybody got power. The business start opening again. It's because they did a good job. They're still working here down here.
Right.
It's amazing. It's amazing. We have to say thank you to those first responders, everybody involved in this. We have to say thank you.
Well, you use the word amazing. I heard somebody in your audience at the Atlanta Jazz Festival call your music amazing. What's the future hold for you and your artistry, sir?
Well, those type of comment is always it's very relief when you spend 14 or 16 hours behind the keyboard, the piano, figure out how to put so many there together, take a lot of time to realize, to put everything. You have, even when you write a song, just bring to the studio to make sure that the song get close to what you want to present. It's another world. It's a lot. It's a big process. It's a lot. The only reward that we always trying to get is that word. We could say amazing. I love it. You know, that's for us. It's like, we did it. And I'm gonna keep releasing music. I'm gonna release now a couple songs, one instrumental, another vocal. It's gonna be surprise. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna release one, the Latin jazz. Another one is gonna be another song, more pop, contemporary song. So that's what we're gonna release soon.
Your multiple messages, multiple genres of music, and we, Alexey, I like you, brother. Thank you so much for joining us, and the best of luck in your career, man. You're good, man. You really are.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope to see you soon. Thank you to your producer. Everybody is amazing. Thank you so much, man, for having me.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this week's edition of Talk to Me with Alexey Marti. See you next week.
Thank you.